And sometimes, destiny, इतनी degree बताएं, mechanical engineer, MBA, ये वो, I was very happy where I was. Very happy. I had a business running. I graduated in 1983 from Central State University, and the next week I was gone. हमारे दोस्तों ने जितनी मोटी अमेरिकन लड़कियां सी उनसे आई डू करके ले लिया ग्रीन कार्ड भी नेवर टुक हम अब्बे वतन पाकिस्तानी हम वापस चले गए So I did business for 10 years, very successful, rocket launches बनाए, हातिफ मिसाइल बनाया, everything, motor, automobiles, ये वो. फिर kidnapping शुरू हुई. The kidnapping started with MQM and Punjabi Pakhtun, and it was open. So they picked me up 2-3 times. Last time when they picked up me up with my little daughter, it was गाड़ियाँ चोरी हो गई कराची में. I decided कि बहुत, huh? Okay. All right. So I got kidnapped a couple of times for ransom, and I also lost 2-3 cars. And eventually we decided that we couldn't live here anymore. And we left everything. So we used to rub shoulders with generals and everything. Their children were on our payroll, Barki, General Adam and everything, I just came here and didn't know what to do because had a visit visa, and that was expiring. Then I went to my old UCO, Dr. Paddock, and he said, I need a student visa. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know what I want to do. I just need a visa because I don't want to be illegal. So then he said, somebody said, go into special ed. Nobody knows what the hell is happening in it. So I got a 4-year student visa, and that's how I ended up in special education. So the whole story is sometimes your destiny is destined. There are no accidents in life. Today we stand here and talk was meant to be. I want you to understand. Things when they happen, there's a reason why they happen. Where we started, how we started, where we ended, and today we are talking about all those things and talking about art. Then I started working with children at special care in 1997, special needs children. And then the first child in 97 came off. You will see all the children you will see here are children from the autism, with the autism spectrum. One thing I want you to know, especially the parents who have, they do progress. I truly believe Allah doesn't give you anything. Ladies can see you. Oh, photo, okay. So I truly believe, God doesn't give you anything for which there is no cure or there's no cure. It will come with me or somebody else. Means how much it is, it depends on you and the person who comes to your life. Okay? So we're going to start with here is life gets very excited when a child is born. It's a moment of rejoice. You want to be happy. Your first child comes into life and you are very excited about it. And when this child is born, this child is a little more different. If one of the lights can go down, it'll look much better. Yeah. Okay. So it is a very exciting moment, but then what? The child is either special needs, has Down syndrome, CP, trach, whatever it is. And then there are children who are like this. These are all children of the autism spectrum. One thing about the children with autism spectrum is they're average, above average, good looking kids. There is something very striking about them. You cannot miss it. So here when you have a child, I say she is going to need a wheelchair, he's going to have therapy, he's going to need braces, he needs support. But here I don't see anything like that. So the closure never comes back to it. That's why people on the autism spectrum struggles. At one moment, he or she will do like go on computer and do all that stuff, and the next moment, he or she stands up and pees and poops right in the corner, or goes and hits somebody, or throw the whole house down. That doesn't make sense. These children, they look for your help. They ask for your help. These children don't need your help. They use you. If you are a parent, remember one thing. We are providers. I worked for 20, 25 years with them. They use me. And I use them. What they need, I will only give if they do something for me. Nothing is free. everything goes through me. But you will have to do as simple as sit down. A lot of times, and I will keep doing it. Sometimes fathers especially say, yeah, what should I do? I come from office and I don't have time to work with this child. I'll tell you what you can do. Usually when you come home, you want to take them for ice cream or Coke or for a ride. Tell them, come with me. They come to you, they will, because they like what you want to. Tell them, go get the keys. Instead of saying, oh, Baba, you've come and it's very sweet of you, I missed you and all. No, that is out. Go get the key. This is a command, and if they comply, they're starting listening to you. They don't listen to you. Next time when you go, you put the keys somewhere else and say, hey, you want the keys? Get the chair, stand up and bring it to me. As long as they know it will end up going to the ice cream shop or the coffee shop, they will do it. They will not do anything if they don't need anything. Understand? People also say they don't make eye contacts. Why do they not make eye contacts? How many of you made an eye contact with people coming in here? Did you look at somebody especially twice? I don't think so. It was not interesting. But if you find somebody who you know is like a football player or have known him, Imam or something, you will, oh yeah, Sheikh, here he goes. Because that person has established himself as a good reinforcer in your life. You will even cross the road to go to them. And that's how we teach these children. We become the social reinforcer for them. They know when this person comes, good things are going to happen. Okay? So these children, when they grow up, this is the stage the parents go through. Depression, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Go to the mazars, go to the masjid, go to this. This is great. Make dua, but then also work. Then a storm builds up. They start looking for answers to everybody. They ask this fellow. Somebody said, do hijamas, get the blood test, get the chromosome thing done, and I mean hippotherapy and all kind of stuff like that. But remember, then these people come in. Your misery is my opportunity. How many of you are parents here? 1, 2, 3. I can leave this building by 10 o'clock, taking $10,000 from each one. Or not 10,000, at least $10, $20 from you. Let me tell you something. Oh, that will be $20. You will give it to me. Because you're looking for answers. Your misery is my opportunity. And that is what we are talking with him, how in Pakistan, and I go to Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, everything. People are looking for answers and they're paying people who are quacks, who do nothing, but they're telling that they know a lot, which they don't. Knowing something is different than the practicality of this. You will find doctors somewhere or engineers, they're doctors. Some are good doctors, some are not so good doctors. This both have a degree. Okay? So you need to find somebody who knows what they're doing. In the meantime, the child is saying, like, help me make some sense of all this thing. There is a whole world going around me. I'm looking around. I don't know. He's looking around on the fan. He's counting how many times this is going around. And you are saying, Baid ja, sit down, sit down. He gets so fed up, he's come and kick you. Because autism disorder is of lack of social skills, communication, and repetition. So you have to enter. They say we live in your world and our world is much better than yours. Then why should I come and talk to you? Right? ऐसे ही होता है ना, when you go to a place which is, people are talking things which is not of your interest, what do? Chalo, yeah, let's go somewhere else. And that's what they do. When you're talking about things that doesn't make sense to them, just because they do not talk does not mean that they are up at a higher level. They are, most of them, unless the mental retardation comes with some things. So, their world is much better than theirs. They're talking about dinosaurs. I learned every dinosaur's name just to talk to them. I learned every train's name. Thomas hai, Edison hai, Henry hai. They all have a different function. You got to know it. ऐसे नहीं कि oh, this is a train, this is a, Chalo, get out of here. You have to know every train's name because they love trains. They love dinosaurs. They love angry birds. You have to know their names and you have to know what each one does. And then you use it to your advantage. They see things differently, not the way we do, right? They see, you see a whole girl, it is not. You see the whole, they see little parts on it. They see a tree, they see the horses, everything. They're not even looking at it. They're looking at what's the color, well, how many wings this one has, how many birds are there. When you talk about learn, they talk about teach. When you teach, they talk about learn, good, ever. But they also want to learn. They want to see, they want you to open the world for them. They all want to learn, but they don't know how to ask. And we don't know how to teach. Right? So we have to change ourselves to teach them. This is a different breed. So how do we raise this? Let me tell you. If this, when everybody said this kid needs to go home because he was so aggressive and beating everybody, he is at OSU, he becomes an engineer. Because work was done with it. When everybody said he cannot talk, he does, he's grown up, become two, with his mother, he's there. You mind if I come here, you put the camera like this? Yeah? अच्छा ओ ऊपर है ओ ये गर्दन में दर्द करा देगा okay so this will I'm going to change it a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, say it's okay now. So they say if a child cannot learn in the way we teach, if a child cannot learn in the way, then we must teach in a way the child can learn. ये हमारा सर्कल टाइम होता है. सर्कल टाइम ऐसे नहीं होता सिट डाउन क्रिस क्रॉस एप्पल सॉस सामने बैठो on your mat. No, his learning happened on my head the whole time, and he's become a great artist. One thing has not changed, and that is him sitting on my head. He loves to do that. Should I be wary of it? No, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So the things you have to understand and enjoy. My younger son, he's gone with Hamza. Hamza will come to me, he will come and say, "Oh, Abu, how are you? What are you doing? Kya hal hai, bhai? What are you doing? Eating nihari?" I love it. I could never talk like this to my father. The only time I hugged my father was when he was dead. I kissed him on the forehead. I wanted a closure. I wanted to touch him, but he never did. It was for many good reasons. We were poor, he had to work, he was in the police, he was very frustrated and angry and mad, and he took it all on us. We avoided him. I love when Hamza. So when we went to Pakistan, some people said, "Oh, he's such a battameez, he's such a bad kid, he calls you by your name." Like, I love it. I wish your child would call you like that. That's the bonding we have. You know? So similarly, we bond with this thing. When they come and head on my head, people say, "Oh, he's too big." I say, "I love it. I love it." You know. From here, he's an artist now. He makes pictures in California, sells it. Something I've talked people, we went to Pakistan, another child came, sat on my head. I said, he's definitely on the spectrum. There's no way. And they say, if you do not understand my silence, you will never understand my words. These children don't talk, but they're talking to you. They will look at you. They only will give you one chance. Have you ever taken a loan from somebody? You know, you were in need of money. Have you been anybody? Not from me. You call your friend and say, I need money. I say, "Oh, you should have called me yesterday. I gave it away. It was okay. You always." Then you call somebody like him and he said, "I need money." You say, "Yeah, I'll give you. I have like $20, $30, but I'll give it to you, whatever you need." Who will you call next time? Him, not her. Because you are out. Similarly, when these children need anything or any help, they don't give you a second chance. They don't. You have to build that rapport with them, to build that trust with them. So we say, what is the function of the behavior? Behavior changes behavior. Your behavior will change the other person's behavior. वो कहते हैं they say people don't make eye contact. These kids don't make eye contact. Like I asked you, how many people did you make eye contact? There was nobody exciting in your life, you know. But if you find somebody good, I usually give an example. I don't know if I should give it here in the mosque, but it is a good example. I went to Karachi. I was sitting with my friend. There's a shopping mall in Lahore. Good friend. I saw a lady, married lady, with 3 children walking, and with the grace and way she talked with her husband, I looked back again, and my friend said, "Oh, yaar, you are a married man." It's not about that. There is something very arrogant about this person that I had to look twice. That's what you call an eye contact. When you are with this child, you should do things with them that when they are sitting in the corner and I'm doing something, they should look and come to you and say, "Give it to me, whatever you have." If you don't have that, then they will be in that corner for years and years and never come back to you. So every moment is teachable. He's in the 7th grade now, 7th grade, 8th grade. He's the student of the year. He was nonverbal when he came to us. He was running on the roads, May and Hefner, on the road again. We had to fire 2 teachers because he just slipped out. Yeah. So every behavior is a way of communication with these children. You have to separate the behavior from the child. If a child is throwing a tantrum and running away, then you have to keep it separate. This is what they do. You cannot blame them. Kharab hai, he's bad. No, it's not like that. This is what they do. You know, he's grown up to be now. He's so big up. Like sometimes he will just look at me and say, "Leave me alone." I mean, he's hitting puberty and everything. That kind of scares me. But he started all the way down here. Every behavior for these children is a learned behavior. What they see, they will do it. So we teach them by echoing, by showing them things and repeating till it becomes a part of the repertoire. They learn to do it. They like to come through this door all the time. If you have a child, he will come through the door, come through the same door, sit on pretty much the same place. We change it from the very first day. Today you come from here, tomorrow you're going to come from here. Today you sit in the car from the left side, tomorrow you will sit from the right side. This is called generalization. Otherwise, they will make your life miserable. I want to go to the bathroom, I will only pee on this kind of commode. You can't take them to any other place. He will hold it. That's where the generalization comes. So we start generalization from the very first day. Do they do it easily? No. Takes time. So with them, if you take one, oh, you are running around, sit down. Like these kids sitting in there, don't play in there. Then what? Then what? You have to give them an alternate behavior. Something which is equally or more reinforcing than this one. Otherwise, they will not do it. Also, stay one step ahead of the child. If this child is going to get up, he is going to get up and walk away. If you try to go, you start go. So now I'm sitting here, oh, please, please, please. He's going to be gone. They're speedy. But sit down again. Now I'm here and he's ready to get up. Okay, you start going. I will already be here. Where you going? Hey, hold this for me. I stopped. He'll forget where he wants to go. So I took away that. That is called the antecedent. Before the things happen, you take away those things which will excite him. The door will be locked. So even if he makes it there, he won't be able to do it. He can go once, twice, then he will learn, like the Pike syndrome, it doesn't open every time I go, so he or she will stop going that way. The Pike syndrome was a story where they did a fish pike. They put it in the water aquarium and they put a glass in between. आप उनको रोक रहे हैं, they are not stopping anyway. So it's good for nothing. So the fish would come, there was food on the other side, and it would hit the glass and was not able to go. They did that for a week, and then they slowly take the glass out. The fish came and stopped halfway and died of hunger. The food was there. This is called the Pike syndrome. That's how we teach them. Some things you can't get to, you will not try it again. Okay. So I have this. We'll give it to you. Let me. So Dr. Carbone, I went to his training. He said, if a child can say yes or no or makes an audible sound, then they damn well speak. It is you who is failing as a therapist, as a teacher. You must be able to. Agar to ye, the sound voice box is okay, then they must speak. How do you do it is up to you. Okay? And there are many different ways of doing. So what it is, people have a lot of stories what autism is about, what it is, but it's a kind of we are going, it's a neurological disorder, something in the brain doesn't process it. Like in ADHD, it doesn't process it, either it becomes too slow, and they're focusing 90% on that. People talk about guts and other issues. Those are other stories. I have a nephew who's a podiatrist, Bilal. He tells me all my life problem is because my toes are not straight in line. I go to name my heart doctor. He tells me all my problems in life because my heart valves are not working. I go to my dentist. She says I'm not having good health because my teeth are not in order. So the thing is, whoever knows what will tell you that is the only reason. इसलिए hijama wala hijama will tell you. The word with the gut people will tell you it's the gut. The gluten-free people will tell you to do the gluten thing and everything. Of course, you want to check out every possibility. Autism is also a diagnosis of exclusion. You exclude everything. We don't know where it is coming from. Right now, there is no cure for autism. There is no known cause for autism. Everything is we are making wild guesses. Oh, he got a shot, that's why he got it. He got this, that's why he got it. My wife was pregnant and she stopped talking to me, that's why this child doesn't talk to me. No good reason. And I always give a good reason. Uh, autism is by birth. It is by birth. This is definite. I had a heart attack 12, 13 years ago. You know, I was just like this. I was working and I lift something and my back had a problem and I took Celebrex for that. We all do our local Celebrex. I couldn't sleep and I just was going to go to, I think, Norman or someplace to do a training. So I went to the hospital and said, I really can't sleep. My back is hurting. And they said, you had a heart attack at 6 in the evening. It's 4 in the morning. And you had a severe, massive heart attack. I didn't know that. Well, anyway, the result came, my front arteries were 95% blocked. Because I used to walk and exercise, I just kept going because of the stamina I had. But the fact, if you look at autism is always there. Like my heart problem was going to come anyway. Celebrex excited it. Maybe when you get your shots of mercury, it excites it and it shows up more at that time. But it was imminent that it would come. So you cannot say, gee, shots lage. There is no research. There are a lot of research, fake from England, that shots does this or all this. No, it's nobody's fault. It's by birth. Okay? So now it is called autism spectrum disorder. There are 3 categories of low, mild, moderate, and severe. Right? 1, 2, 3. Right? And the downlist is done. So the thing is, you can argue 1 in 600, 1 in 20. First time when I did a conference that was my first autism, was 1 in 10,000 in California. That's what they said, 95, 96. They also called it pervasive development disorder. Now they say 1 in 65 or 1 in 32. Whosoever is doing it, they will tell you. But the thing is, the parents who have it, when we were in Pakistan, you all know I'm from Pakistan. I'm not from here, right? Yeah, I'm not a white guy. Okay, it's a joke. We work with handicapped people, so we joke a lot. So don't mind it. Uh, when there was somebody died, there was always like, oh, what is for food? What are we going to eat after that? We always look for like what the food is going to be. And my father was a very nice guy. I mean, he was a very wise guy. And he said, and we would always look, oh, dekho, yaar, what the biryani hai, kya hai, what is it? And he said, I go and look at these places, but son, you will only know death when it comes to your house. The day my father died, I knew what death is. The day my mother died, I knew what death is. So for you all who have children, you know what autism. I don't. I don't. I don't have a child with autism. I can understand you. On a scale of 1 to 10, I've come to like 7, 8, but you have already moved up here from 10 to 11 to 12 to 13. I can never catch up with you because it has come to your house. You sleep with it, you eat with it. I don't. After 6 or 7, when I leave special care, I try to forget everything. I don't take anything home. Yeah. So this means it is the Lord These are some of the children you will see. No, we're not going anywhere. Hey, hold on. Look, hey. So notice every child has a different way of reading. Some are verbals. This is a very aggressive. She hits herself, takes the blood out of her. Was that funny? Yeah, you want to go play? You want to take pumpkin? Okay, we need to get down. He repeats everything. Jonathan, get down, please. Down. Yeah, get down. Thank you. Thank you very much. He is a dancer. Come on. He comes. Thank you, Bree. Such a sweet girl. Fly, fly. Hey, let's. We are not going back. We're going back there. Yeah, reverse me. She's going in reverse. We're gonna go to the room like this. The room is. Well, let's get. Back in? Good. Let the games. I know, we got to turn this way. So you saw how different each one is. Everybody is different, everybody. But they all progressed. They've gone to schools to the best of their ability. I won't say, Kaji, this turned out to be this. They started speaking, they went to school, their behaviors went down, you know, their social skills went down. If we have time, I'll show you the other videos 7, 8, 9, 10 years later, right? There's some other example. They fail to mold in mother's arm severe tactile defensiveness. They don't like to be touched. Not all of them, some of them, most of them. They like self-injury. This was our first child we had. We had no idea what to do with him. Spinning objects के साथ they have obsession, moving objects. They like those, you know. Their lack of warm, joyful expression. If you want them to come and give you a hug, usually it will be in the backside. An open hug you will never get from them. Okay. They have fixation on things. Children with autism have problem recognizing danger. That's why when they go in a mall or something, they just walk through the cars. They do not see the danger. The people say, you know, if I have a child, I teach them how to cross the road. But the danger is still there. Everything has to be taught. They know how to cross. They know if it's a red light here and a red light here and the walk sign is here, I'm going to walk. It's perfect for them. They'll walk, but they can never anticipate that drunk driver coming at 80 miles per hour who's not going to stop. A normal person will, oh my God, they will just walk because they were right in every way. So that is our little, that's why if they live, somebody has to supervise them occasionally, sometimes less, sometimes more. They like to stay away from the group. They have rapid movements with objects, posturing of body, arms, hands, or fingers. The lack of response to name. You know, people say they don't make eye contact. Yeah? Abhi humne bhi talked, why should I make an eye contact? You are so boring, basically. Who wants to make an eye contact with you? Because they don't like this, this is father, so I should look at the, if I'm mother, I should look at it. No. If you're not interesting, you're out. Period. Okay? So they have gone to be adults, to be here. She now works in a sheltered workshop, goes to office. They like routines. They sustain odd plays. So her father was in the Marines, and you know how they paint their faces. She wrote like to paint her faces, and you see all her alphabets we did on her face. She could not sit. If she would be hanging up here with the fans, I used to call her Tarzan ki bachi hai. She cannot just stay on the ground, up on this. Instead of fighting it, we made it a mode of teaching for them. Huh? Echolalia, immediate, delayed. This is the first child. When he was 8, 9 years, he left. He went on the front desk, and you know, I don't know how many of you listen to radio in the morning. KOMA 92.5 is an old song from the 70s. And he always said, Danny Williams is left the building. Danny Williams, he left the building. I love you, pass it on. Elvis has left the building, pass it on. Frazier has left the. He knew that. He went on the front, pushed the button and said, Patrick is leaving the building. I love you, pass it on. And everybody cried. We cry a lot. But this is a echolalia, a repetition from things he had learned. But he has learned to bring those things at the proper place and proper time. That's where generalization comes in. So he's in the Houston now with the Houston Rockets. इस पर ज़्यादा ही काम हो गया थोड़ा सा, you know, we worked a little too much on it. But the thing is, you know, he's my first child. We learned from him. I am what I am because of him, because I had to go and find out what he does, what he does not do, and everything. It was something new. So I go to England on my mother's death. I brought for him a cab for Manchester. So it has to be like. So I'm there. We have so many stories. He read New York Times all the time. right? He loves to. So he said, I want New York Times. So it was so hard in 90s to find out New York Times. In it only in 50 pen place had it. So spending 1 hour, $44, I brought that, and he said, no, no, that's not it. I want the national edition. I want the local edition. This is not the this is national edition. How many of you know New York Times has three editions? The national, which goes all over, the local, which is for New Yorkers, and international. Because we don't know those 60 pages they have about selling chickens and eggs and everything. So they save money. For Oklahoma, this is good like Obama and all that stuff. So he knew it. I didn't. So when I told him, he said, okay, let's go to, he liked soccer, so I said, get him a talk. And I said, oh my God, there are two soccer teams, Manchester City and Manchester United. Because if I bring the wrong, he's going to hate it. So I am calling in those times, it was like £3 a minute charge. Like, Michelle, what does he want? Is it a, there are two Manchester City foot soccer. He says he wants like the Manchester United. So I got it. Then a cab for him. And then I said, okay, I'll mail it. He said, no, he's sitting on the door. He wants it now. So I had to another 20x FedEx, you know. Those were the times where gurbat ke zamane, when you're really struggling with money. So spend $20 on FedEx to send him. And then his mom called and said, yeah, thanks for all the gift. He's not taken it off for the last 2 weeks. I said, okay, tell him it needs to be washed. He will take it off. He said, thank you, good idea. He's standing in the door. He took a shower in it and he said, it's washed. So when you give your command, it has to be very precise and specific. You know? He's grown up to be a very young man. We call him Paddy. His name is Patrick. How much does he value me? Like I tell, I am who I am because of him. I fired a teacher. I had a teacher. He was in some teacher's class. It's a story to know. And he would not say. He would go and she said, I don't want him here. Nobody sleeps, and he's just a pain. He needs to go. And that woman was there for 15 years. I'm talking about 96, 97. And she was like the strong. There was a child who had a trach here, who had a seizure. She saved his life from doing CPR here. Such a. So I was a fresh from master's in special ed. I gave a big. I said, Angela, you are 45 years old. He's 3 years old. If anyone is leaving the building, it's you. Badi baat ki, big saying. And she said, Mansoor, you talk too much. You tell me what to do. By God, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know that. I sat down and then I told Pam, I know nothing. And I told her that. She said, now you need to find out. And that's when we were talking to him also. He's like, I went to every place. There was used to be on 24th Street, Dr. Diana Mobley. She used to be a psychologist. I even came to her. Well, she was psychology, but she had like 3 years waiting time for doing assessments at that time. Anyway, this is how much I've given him. So I went to see him. He started eating Pakistani food and all that. So I said, we'll come, we'll go to Houston, we'll go to a store. So I was going, oh, Patrick. And he looked at me and said, yeah, when do we eat? It hurts like I'm only worth because my coming is an indicator that food is coming. This we would call in maybe a prompt. No, prompt is when the Imam comes here, we say, oh, the Salah would start. So my coming to him, he was told, we will go eat. So I'm only worth that, not what I've done with him. So when you work with your children or everything, no, whatever you do, they don't value it, but you make them a better person. Yeah. Okay, they have a gaze aversion. They have no social smiles. They have sleep problems. You know, this was a Rett syndrome and autism, but they can talk to you with their eyes. How do you teach them? How do you teach them? You know, people say, oh, I need to take books and everything. Find the ways to teach. She can't walk. Rett syndrome is also in girls and coexists with autism also. So her mom called and said, Mansoor, it's a very depressing day. My daughter is waiting for the handicap school bus to come. She's 16 years old. All her friends are at the DMV to get their license. I know Hamza Haris, they were like 4 o'clock at the DMV, get my license, freedom, I'm going to drive. And my daughter is waiting for the school bus for the wheelchair. I'm so depressed. I know she is, but I want her to be normal. I said, Stephanie, don't worry, I'm coming. But an old Lincoln Town car, I put 2, 3 pillows here and tied her up with Velcro, tied her hand to the that in Santa Fe High School, and there was a big ground. Now it's gone big, and we put it in the gear and said, Emily, your friends are still struggling with their license. You are driving. She was so happy, and when I left, that's the look she gave me. Her mom took a picture that day. This is of gratitude. This is eye contact. This is bonding. Even today, she's 28, 29 years old. We still communicate through their parents. Yeah. She graduated from Santa Fe and all that stuff. So this girl is also, you saw she was doing like this. She now comes and talks and gives lecture in my class at UCO. We just had one 2 months ago. And she still does that. And then we tell her, and then she wears a pant with the pockets. She put her hand in the pocket. 10 minutes? Okay. Just I told you I do 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, so 5, 10 minutes will be. Wrap it up. So they have no joint attention. They stay away from the group. And I wanted to show the progress they have made between, you have to remember distinguishing between what they want to do and what they can't do. Don't struggle on कि बैठो जी you should write with a pencil, you should write with a pencil. No, नहीं कर सकता. Use a shaving cream, use something else, use a computer. They think in images, not words, pictures, not verbal. Their world is of concrete, black and white or nothing. There's no abstract. It's raining cats and dogs. They look if cats and dogs are there. Even if for me, when first time I came to America, they said, "What's up?" I started looking up. I didn't know that this is a jargon here. I didn't know that. Huh? So this is Temple Grandin. She thinks like that. This is her and her. See how she rides way up high. There's a city I heard of, land that I heard of. Very visual, very visual. If you don't give her this, she will exactly tell you the words there are. Yeah. She only wants to save the snow leopard in Pakistan. That's all she wants to say. No lion, no tiger, no deer. She raises fund money. There are a lot of good stories about her, but we'll skip that. So when she left, I said, Isis, you're going. If you need any time, call me. She said, that won't be necessary. It's been like 8, 9 years now, 10 years. Her mom calls me or sends her picture. I said, does she ever talk about me? She said, never. It's called object permanence, out of sight, out of mind. You're gone, you're gone. Somebody else takes that place. Okay, we want to show something. I have these copies in case you want to make a copy or have it. But there is hope, and I'll wrap it up here because he's now saying 3 minutes. Like, okay. There is hope. This is the only girl who is not on the autism spectrum. She is cerebral palsy, ataxic. He was a man, and she would like, even in especially some children are lazy, some are want to do, some don't want to. She's like, I will walk. So everybody wanted her to walk. And then the doctor said that she also has a debilitating disease which is taking her life away. It will be 6 months to live. 6 months to live. And she wants to walk. So what do? We still keep working. Because life is not promised to anybody. She lived to be a fairly good, and I always told this story to parents for hope. When everybody denies that they will exist, God gives them more life. She passed away. I was in Pakistan when doing a training. and they sent this picture, said, "Pray for Sarah." And we knew it, the time has come. And she told her mom, "Mom, let me go. I'm ready to go. Don't put tubes in me." She passed away, and then we, at Special Care, we celebrated her life. The story is, I'll tell you two stories and then end it here. In her life, when this school, there's a Piedmont and all this area where she went to school, when they do these face viewing, all the children from the school came in their little black coats and jackets. And the parents said, "We don't want our 4-year, 5-year-old to go see a dead body." They said no. She drove wheelchair like crazy. It was written, "Be aware, Sarah is driving the wheelchair." That we were with her in life, we want to be with her in her death also. It was so emotional. Imagine of those children being inclusive in schools and colleges when they go. Those children have gone to memorial. There is $406,000 for special care last month because of her. She died in 12 years old, but she left a legacy that you and me, even 70, 75 years old, are still struggling. कि जन्नत जाना है, those of जाना है. I don't know. Do the gate and keep moving. She changed the whole face of inclusion everywhere. Then I had another parent. We went to her funeral also. I want to tell this. So one of the parents who had a child with CPE and autism, so they adopt children from outside. They go to China, they go to Yugoslavia, they adopt children. So she went to adopt, and she's a like single mother, not very well off. She brought another child from, and that child was on the autism spectrum. If I show the video, he was on the ground just going left, right, left, right. I said, "Jenny, I thought you would bring a normal child because you have another child before." She said, "Mansoor, how long do you know me?" I said, "About 7, 8, 9 years." She said, "How did you even think I would do otherwise?" I felt so low in my eyes that day that what a thinking I had. This is called tawakkul. She said, "You know what? If I have money, I will get another one." Now, this is between me and my creator. You stay out of it. You are good at what you do that. If I get an opportunity and money, I will bring another one. You know, Punjabi ka ab to chal so chal hai. He will give and I'll take and see. And you are not the chosen one. I am. Prophets were not like thousands of them. They were one. But Mansoor, when I go up, I have some questions for him. This is what is tawakkul. The belief that you have been chosen for this. You can deny it because denial is the first phase of what you get. Or you can stand up and say, "I'm going to make that difference. I have been challenged. God chose me. He didn't choose me. He didn't choose them. They're having a happy life. Roti kha liya, brahm kha liya." But your life is different. Who you talk to, who you live with, who you build, it's a different life. So take it as something which God has given you to test you and make you a better person. That's how I believe. And I'm one of the very few, or one of those who somehow, I was, like I told you, very happy in Pakistan, doing good. I went to Burewala, ya Sheikh. We want to set up autism clinic there. Sabne bola ji, Burewala, what do you think about Burewala? Mecca, it was a wonderful place. Wonderful. We're going to set it up there. Kalanga, it's July, it's going to be hot. I said, so much the better. Where there is a will, there is always a way. So I will leave you with all this and knowledge just to motivate you and say things change. All these children change. It will never stay but it will stay the same if you put your kid in the house and do nothing about it and hide them and all that stuff. Please don't do that. Bring them out, take to people who know more, and go from there and listen to them. All right. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a blessing and honor to do that. Yeah. So I do like 7 days, 2 weeks training. So I can stand and do it.
So, question?
Eh,
After dinner?
After Maghrib, we can do it. I'll stay here, but I'm not.
We have a second speaker to that.
Yeah, and
Jazakumullah khairan, Dr. Manzoor Chaudhry. So we have a second speaker, inshallah. Our second speaker, her name is Dr. Samad Bilal. She's an MBBS from King Edward Medical University, 2006. She's a primary caregiver and mom and mother to two autistic boys, ages 14 and 10, and she will share her experience about living with autistic children. She'll be speaking from the sister side. I don't think she has a presentation.
No.
Okay, Jazakumullah khairan.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا تسلم رسول الكريم. اللهم اجعلنا منكم صالحا. O Allah, make all my deeds righteous and only you obtain your countenance in
Yeah.
What?
This is just my advice for myself. So I pay regulated so Jazakallah khairan
Speaker.
just for arranging this
The speaker.
program.
Speaker.
Thank you, Norman Masjid. Jazakallah khairan an opportunity to share a little bit of our autism family journey and to share suggestions how to make our masajid and our spaces more welcoming, inclusive, and accommodating. So, starting with autism spectrum, just like Brother Mansoor shared quite a bit, every child, this is the first thing that I'm going to say. And if you can take one thing from me today, just take this. So, every child and every individual who's on the spectrum is different and unique. If you know one autistic individual or family, you know only that individual. All of them would be at different levels of functioning and they'll need different levels of support. For parents and also the community, comparison is a thief of joy. So do not compare your children with each other, compare a child with anybody else. And no unsolicited advice. So if you see a family or a mother struggling with a child, you might feel like she's not doing anything by standing back and just letting the child take its time. And you might be tempted to intervene or try to do something. You might think she's not doing anything.
For the speaker.
Every nerve in her body, all of
She already online.
it's not that you can do it.
What are you trying to do with it?
The child will take this time to calm down, regulate himself.
What are you trying to do with it?
Alina and Ibrahim. What did I say?
Into a dangerous area, to secure the place. It needs to be a place where there's no place that they can go and anybody else. And you will decide from the situation how far you need to be. Everything yourself, you just gently put your arms and help them put it down, or like brothers who said, distract them with another behavior, give them something else. Child or an adult you want to focus on your ibadah, and now you feel like you're being disturbed by this child who is noises. What are you tempted to do? What do you think? Most of the time, somebody, a brother or a sister, will tell the child to calm down or to leave.
This is already connected. This is already connected to something. If you press whatever sounds transmitted already.
Yeah.
No, we'll just take this back.
Why?
Because we don't know how to use this.
It's to record. You just put it like this.
That's kind of where you are. and it is a difference. It's very depending on how it affects their daily living, but it is a processing difference. It is a learning difference, and we need to enter into their world in order for them to listen.
I think you just have to put.
Okay, want to put this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one and there.
See, hello?
No. Just put that in. They're making YouTube. So. Oh, on for YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Excuse me. I got it. Okay. Okay. Jazakallah khair. Did the mic turn off?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's on.
Yeah, it's not on now. Okay, it's on now. Okay, sorry about that. So, what you can do, what do you do in this situation is you try to stay regulated yourself. And I've learned this after years of being a parent, that you do tasbih. You start saying Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah lazim, astaghfirullah. For a long time, this is what I would say if I was in a situation where I needed to stay calm. Allahumma innaka huwan kareemun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna, and Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tamim bil khair. We went with Mohsin Umrah, and since we're in the month of Zul Hijjah, I'll share this reflection. When Hajar alayhi salam was looking for water for her son, and she has a baby in the middle of the desert, and he's crying for water, and there is no water, and she is running back and forth. She is in a situation of complete helplessness, but she is still completely relying on Allah, and she knows that the help will come. She's certain. That is similar to a child going through a meltdown and a parent being there. There is sometimes nothing that you can do except let the storm pass. And what you do is you remember Allah and you keep doing tasbih, because that keeps you busy. And you fight that temptation of trying to do something that might make it longer. If the child is, crying, he'll calm down. But if you go in and say, okay, let's come on, he'll start again. And it'll take another 10, 15 minutes to reach that point. So always remember, when you see a family struggling, try not to add to the chaos. Try to do tasbih to keep yourself regulated and to make sure that you don't say anything hurtful, and that you don't make it worse for the situation. I'll share two personal experiences just to give an idea to the community. One was, my son is now 14. He was 2.5 years old, and we had just received the diagnosis. We had not left the house for a year and a half, and we finally wanted to take a break. And so it was my husband's birthday, so we decided to fly to San Diego. Interestingly, we just had a shooting in San Diego, so this will be relevant. So, and we had planned the trip according to his eating times, so that it's a 2-hour flight. We'll feed him right before we leave. We have activities for him. There is one stopover. Like, everything is planned. Just like Brother Mansoor said, you think ahead. You think 5 steps ahead, how to avoid a tantrum. And we're trying our best that it doesn't become an inconvenience to anybody else. So the stopover that we reach, they tell us there is a shooting in San Diego, and it is close to the airport, and so the plane can't take off. So now we're stuck in the airplane for 2.5 hours, stationary. And he was okay for 45 minutes or something, and there's nothing we can do. They told us we can't leave the plane, we can't walk out. So by the time it was time to board and really fly, he had already reached his limit, and we were at the cusp of a meltdown. And this passenger comes, and the moment he entered and he sat right in front of us, my child started acting up. It's like they can detect this energy of. I think that one just ran. Okay. They can detect your energy, and they know safe and unsafe. They cannot show you as much, they can't express as much, but sometimes these kids are much more receptive than all of us. So he started acting up, and the guy, he looks back and he yells, I don't know. It is. I have some PTSD from it, but I don't know. What did he say? He said, "Whoop his ass. Do something. You're not doing anything, and make him stop." And so at this point, and now my husband is getting upset, and he's like, "What did he say? Did he yell at you?" And I said, and another thing is, I didn't want it to become a conflict because I know it'll make the situation worse again. Now these adults are adding to the sensory stimulus, and of course, sometimes our adults also lack regulating skills. You don't know how many people are on the spectrum who are undiagnosed. So that's how I try to remember myself of, maybe they don't know any better. So, but, and my husband is like, I don't want this guy to turn back and say anything to us. There's nothing we can do if you can, and this is after we have taken off. So he's like, you can stop the plane and we'll get off. But at this moment in time, there's nothing I can do. And I don't, so I tell them, he's special needs. And then he's going, oh, if you're special needs, you just have told me, blah, blah, blah. And it's not helping. By this time, my son is screaming, he's crying, he is trying to get out. And I tell my husband to try to take him for a walk, make him walk a little bit. The airline crew was really kind. They came and they sit and they told me, the brother said, I have kids and I understand. And I started crying. Sometimes you can deal with the unkindness because you develop a thick skin and you're sort of used to it. And then when somebody shows kindness is when the floodgates just open. This has been so many years, and thankfully that was my only experience to this extent. I also learned some good comebacks, and if you say anything to me on the plane, I'll be like, it's a commercial plane, you don't want any disturbance, get your own jet. I mean, I can't help you, but we're doing our best. So this is one. Second is actually from 2019, and it was in the month of Zulhijjah. It was at a Jummah prayer in our masjid, and this was coincidentally right before we started our program at the masjid. So the salah goes off fine, and we had a kid who was not sitting, he was running around during the salah, during the khutbah. So when the prayer ends, one of the sisters is like, whose child is this? He's running around, his shorts are slipping, and I don't want to see that while I'm praying. And we're like, it's the month of Zulhijjah. It is like the day of Arafah. You're not supposed to fight, you're supposed to show tolerance. And but since the sister was in a state where she wasn't ready to listen either. Thankfully, her older sister works in mental health. So, she kind of guided her, and I went to the mother and I told her, please don't stop bringing him in. It's okay. When you're at the masjid and you're praying salah, your focus should be on the creator and not the creation. If you had, if I gave you, and this is something that I read from somewhere, it's not original. So if I gave somebody a task like a glass of water to take from the door to the podium, you would not notice how many people are on their phone or who's talking. So just like that, when you are in the masjid, your focus should be in the salah and the creator and not the creation. And the creator asks you to be kind, to choose ihsan every time. And ihsan is not just doing good, it's doing good with excellence. Like if you do good, you're just doing equal. If somebody is being good to you, you're just returning that. Excellence is you go above and beyond, and you don't expect anything in return except reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you see these families in your community, that's what you need to remember, that just make dua for yourself, for them as well, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable you to help them. Believe me, you don't even need to know the how, because Allah will show you a way how to do it. And just keep showing up. Never give up on these families. Okay, so this is a personal experience that I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives me. I thought I would not share it with anybody, but it's just to show that anything that befalls on a believer is from Allah. We know in verse 11, Surah Al-Ghabun, I think, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, nothing befalls a believer except by His will. So any challenge, whether you are autistic parent or somebody else, you have to know that difficult times are from Allah, and how you respond to them will determine whether it's a blessing for you or it is a fitna for you. So if you respond with patience and gratefulness and asking for help from Allah, it will become easy for you, and it will become a means of forgiveness and elevation for you. So we were on Mohsen Umrah. For a long time, I thought we could never go on Umrah because of the way both the kids were, or how would we manage. But Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a way. We went on Umrah, and this is a plane full of families with differently able kids. And if one gets triggered, they trigger the other. On one hand, it's easy because all the parents understand the journey. On the other hand, it's hard because they're all triggering each other. And subhanAllah, my child is the one who is most dysregulated. And it's nighttime when everybody is trying to sleep. And he was playing with the window of the plane. And the air hostess 3-4 times told us to stop. And then she told me to tell him to stop. And she doesn't understand, he's just trying to stay regulated. So the 4th time she came and I tried to talk him, and that just set it off. So he's crying, and everybody is trying to help, trying to come in and tell me. The sister comes and says, Haris, come sit with me and you're okay. And I'm like, they think they want to give me a break, that I might lose my patience. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm doing tasbih. And I told them, it'll be okay. Just finally everybody leaves. I don't know how long it took, but we both went to sleep. So I don't remember, but both my son and I were asleep. When we landed, the entire plane is coming up and saying, oh, sister, subhanallah, you were so patient. And I'm like, I try and I ask for help. Believe me, I'm not relying on myself. I'm relying on Allah, and that is the only thing that enables me. SubhanAllah. So after the Umrah, they provide child respite, so they keep the kids in suites. After the Umrah, we all do together, but then they allow the parents to go to the masjid and attend salahs. The first salah that I make to at the Kaaba, and guess what? The first verse is played, is recited in the first namaz that I make to at the Masjid al-Haram. It's Masta'inu bi-sabri bis-salah. Inna Allaha ala ma'as sabirin. Remember me and I'll remember you. And I'm standing, I still get goosebumps. I'm standing there with, tears. Like, indeed, if you remember Allah, He remembers you. And, just take refuge in your zikr and in your prayer, and everything will be okay. And, I know personally, if I didn't have this child, or if I didn't have my other child, I would have never made this. Can you imagine the number of hours from Chicago all the way to first Istanbul and then Makkah, Medina? Would I ever make that much tasbih? Would I ever not watch anything in the plane? Because if I start watching, I might get frustrated. He's not letting me. Instead, you read the Quran. The entire time I read the Quran. Before we leave on a flight, for a week, I'm stressed. But what do? You wake up at tahajjud. You ask for help. You ask for help, you ask for help, you ask for, when you finally leave, then you're in a place of tranquility. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pours tranquility on your heart. And I go every year because, autistic families, we also have elderly parents. Our parents have a right on us. I also want to visit the house of Allah. And my kids are really happy. They love the Kaaba. Every year now they say, I want to go to the city of Makkah, the city of Medina. And every time if I start praying, he says, go to the masjid. And he is minimally verbal, non-verbal. So there are very few words that he says. And he used to say more, and it's kind of regressed, which is also something that I want to say, that, it'll be a different journey for every parent. My younger one has less struggles than my older one. My older one is loud. My younger one hates loud sounds. So it is a journey, but it's not, this is your journey and this is your struggle. You have to remember all of us will be tested in one way or the other. And you don't want to let that test become your entire being. You use that test in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it a means of forgiveness for you and a means of elevation for you. If you treat them well, they can be your ticket to Jannah. I mean, if you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a person in your care who might not have any accountability because of their challenges that they face in this life. They've never told a lie. They've never, the things that our neurotypical people do. So you have to remember that. And I'm human too. I want to say I'm not perfect. There are times when I'll get burnt out. And people keep saying, take self-care or take time out. But you don't realize if you take a lot of time out, you get frustrated again that you're going to go back. And, instead what my self-care looks like is I started listening to Tafsir while he was having meltdowns, just so that I stay regulated. I finished Tafsir al-Quran. So, and then you keep asking for help, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps bringing you close. I joined Quran translation course, inshallah, would finish in September. So just do not let your test become your entire being. You need to have something outside of that struggle that keeps you grounded. And my advice to all the families would be just make sure that you stay regular in your obligatory ibadat. And if there are any brothers here, often the fathers take more time to come to terms. And my request to all the fathers would be just make sure that your wife gets time to just at least say her prayer, make sure that the child is safe, she doesn't run out for that little bit of time. And if the sisters, even if you don't have that, just combine your prayers if you have to, but don't leave your prayer. Just maintain your salah. I'll leave with some action points for the community. How to support the families. Be kind, choose kindness. Ihsan, it is a favor to yourself and an investment for your akhirah. It is not a favor from you, from the families. Remember that you're doing it for your own good, to gain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's prayer. Make dua to Allah for yourself and for the family you see struggling. Choose words carefully, like always be encouraging, like say things like you're doing wonderful, you're a good parent, make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, make it easy for you and for your child. Avoid using labels. This is a request. Don't use terms like normal, abnormal. Instead use neurotypical. People who process the things the way we know is neurotypical, and neurodiverse for autistic, for all, and that covers ADHD, autism, everything. So try using those labels instead. Again, do not compare, because comparison is a thief of joy. Do not be judgmental. Do not blame the parents or the individual who's struggling. Sometimes I heard it from the people I love, and I know they didn't mean it, so I know they were well intentioned. But I had people say, it's not the child's fault, it's your fault. But I want the parents to know that nobody causes autism. The kids are born with it. Sometimes, like Brother Mansoor said, it can be triggered by different things, by an infection or something. But those genes are always there. Something turns them on. So it was destined, and I've forgotten which surah the verse is in, but it is the verse of we call of embryology, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you that Allah decides to which level a cell will develop or to which level a person will live. And then again, all of us are just a few seconds away from a disability. Anybody gets into an accident, you might lose the ability that you have. So always remember that the skills and everything you have are a blessing from Allah or a favor from Allah, and you'll be asked about how you use them. So don't use them to be unkind to anybody else. This is another request. Don't think you can do better. Avoid unsolicited advice, and do not think you can do better than the parent. If only you did this, he will start eating. Try this, give him this, take him for hijama, take him for that. No, even if you've seen somebody benefit from something, like I said, every individual is an individual. And then, and erase the R word from your vocabulary completely. Don't use the word retarded. mental retardation, you can call it a cognitive disability, you can call it a intellectual difference or a learning difference. Don't use the word retarded. For the masjid, we need to exemplify acceptance, inclusion, and accommodation. Acceptance is you accept the family the way it is, and you try to include them in every event. And then accommodation, you make sure that there are arrangements for them to enjoy the event. Not that you just, should I start for the
Just
Azan?
2 more minutes.
Okay.
I think that's somebody's phone.
If you can,
Please turn it
okay.
off.
Okay, so be welcoming. The Quran always tells us to do ihsan. Allahu yuhibbul muhsinin. Allah loves the ones who do ihsan. And you know, I don't remember the reference of this hadith, but there is a hadith where Rasulullah told us walking with your brother in the time of need is better than doing itikaf in Masjid al-Nabi for 30 days. So just imagine the reward of assisting a family. And then what accommodations can masjid offer? You can have a quiet space, a sensory room. So if a child is struggling, they can be moved away from the trigger and they can take their time to self-regulate. Having volunteers, if for example it's a khutbah, maybe 1 or 2 sisters were already attending. If you attend one salah and then stay, so if any other family comes out and needs help, you can just assist. Just watch the child so that it doesn't run out, so the sister can pray or the brother can pray. And then what else? Childcare respite, if you can have hired help who have some experience, that's always a plus. Disability awareness khutbahs, those are really effective if your masjid can arrange like at least twice a year, because more people attend khutbahs than any of the events that you'll organize, and it reaches more people. We've done that for like 5 years, and now I have people reach out to me from the community that we want to volunteer, or we want to do this project, and can we do like an integrated session? It's slow and steady, but alhamdulillah, we're moving in the right direction. So I think I only have 1 point left. We can continue after the Maghrib if that's
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we
finish?
still
Okay.
have 4 minutes, so.
Okay, so for the caregivers and parents, whether you just receive a diagnosis or have been on this journey for a while, again, remember that it's all with the will of Allah, and your response will decide whether it is a fitna or a blessing for you. Allah has, I think I already talked about that, Allah has placed a person of Jannah in your care who is free of accountability to their struggles. Keep Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala center. Do not miss your obligatory prayers. Help partners help each other to ensure both get to pray. It's really hard on a marriage. The rate of divorce and marriages falling apart, in special needs families, is 2-3 times higher than other families. So parents, take your time to process a diagnosis if you need to, because I know it's not an easy thing to hear. So the parents go through all those 5 stages, but while you're doing that, do not hold the child back. Early intervention is between 3 to 5 years of age. So while you're struggling with your emotions, still call the state and try to get an evaluation for your child. You want to put in place all the supports that are available for him or her to set them up for success. So whatever you do, do not wait. Oh, maybe he'll start speaking when he's 5, or when he'll start speaking. It wastes their time, and then you left with regrets later on. Again, self-regulation. Remember, you can use headphones if it gets really loud. I have to use headphones sometimes for my own sanity, and my other son will wear it just so that we can stay calm. Make dua, loads of dua for yourself, for your autistic loved one, for ease, forgiveness, and steadfastness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept everyone's efforts, make ease, enable all of us to continue to grow and do better, inshallah. Jazakallah khair wa barakallahu feekum. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan, sisters.
Jazakumullah khairan, Dr. Samad. Inshallah, we will pause now for Maghrib prayer, and after the sunnah, we'll have Q&A with the speakers, inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah.
And everybody
We'll need
stick
to-
around. We
will
have
you be able to stay
some
for
food
Q&A,
and
or do
some
you
pizza
you
as well
need to
for
go? It's
everybody.
understandable.
I'm here.
Jazakumullah khairan.
I told my ride to come. I can ask her to come around 9:15 or 9:30. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine, but
Okay.
is it okay with the kids and?
Oh yeah, I have a sister who's helping me, and my